Hi, welcome to the SDGs Compendium. In this series, we'll be learning English while exploring topics surrounding the SDGs. And in this episode, we'll be talking about climate change. The term climate change refers to the significant long-term variation in the regional or global average of weather conditions. So we are talking about changes in the patterns like in temperature, humidity, and rainfall. It also refers to the changes due to the warming of the Earth, such as rising sea levels and loss of polar ice and mountain glaciers. Changes in the Earth's climate are caused by two factors. The first is natural variability, which takes place over hundreds and thousands of years. We can see it in volcanic eruption, ocean currents, and variation in solar radiation. The second is human action. In particular, the burning of fossil fuels intensifies the greenhouse effect and raises the planet's temperature. Small island developing states in the Pacific and Caribbean are particularly vulnerable to the threats of climate change. Rising sea levels and extreme weather events are severe issues for them. For example, if climate change continues the way it is now, the Pacific island of Kiribati could be underwater in the coming decades. The Kiribati government has been seeking ways to mitigate the climate crisis. For example, they have purchased land on Fiji for relocation and formed alliances with neighboring islands of Tuvalu and Vanuatu. In 2017, the devastating Hurricane Maria displaced the entire population of Barbuda. It has destroyed more than 90% of Dominica's structures. While these countries are on the path to recovery, the World Bank estimates that many Caribbean islands will suffer the most serious damage per unit of GDP. Coastal cities are vulnerable to rising sea levels, making them prone to flooding and storm surges. However, a fifth of Japan's population lives in low-lying coastal urban centers. Coupled with typhoons and weather events that are getting more and more extreme, people's lives and essential services such as energy and health are at an alarming level of risk. Studies have shown that Osaka is one of the most vulnerable port cities in the world. Coastal flooding could result in more than $200 billion of financial damage. In 2018, travelers at Kansai International Airport in Osaka were left stranded as Typhoon Jebi flooded the air transportation hub. Should the sea level rise by just 1 meter, a large part of Osaka City and its neighboring coastal cities are expected to go underwater. And that is why the local government has put in mitigation strategies in place to save the city from extreme weathers. Let's review some keywords we have used today. Threaten. 日本語では脅かされているです。動詞 Threaten の過去形です。Threaten is the verb that is also the past tense of threaten. It means to put something in danger, to put something at risk. Which countries are most threatened by climate change? 気候変動により最も脅かされている国はのように使います。Vulnerable 日本語では傷つきやすい、脆弱なです。形容詞です。Vulnerable might be a little difficult to pronounce, but it becomes easier if you can remember the first syllables vol. Vulnerable is an adjective referring to being exposed to the possibility of getting hurt or damaged. It is usually used for people or situations that are in a weak or exposed position. The words vulnerable and threatened are quite similar, and that is why you will often find them being used together in topics such as climate change, or the coronavirus pandemic. Coastal cities are vulnerable to rising sea levels. 海沿いの都市は海面上昇の被害を被りやすいのように使います。見つけ。日本語では和らげる、緩和するです。動詞です。見つけ is a verb, which means to make something less serious or less severe. When we use the word mitigate, we usually use it to mean make something less bad. So from bad to good rather than good to bad. In fact, you hear this word a lot used in risk management. To mitigate the impact of the climate crisis. 気候変動の影響を和らげる方法を探すのように使います。That's the end of today's episode. I hope it has been educational and that you don't feel threatened to use the new words or knowledge. This has been SDGs Compendium, and I'm Roger. See you in the next episode.